Hello learners, welcome to session 5 of Unit 6, the formative use of summative assessment. I am Munkaila Dasman, your course instructor for this course. In the previous session, we look at peer assessment and ways of using peer assessment in class. So this session, we talk more about formative use of summative assessment. At the end of this session, you should be able to explain what is meant by summative use of formative assessment and also explain how to use text formatively. The formative use of summative assessment. According to Black et al. 2003, summative text should be seen to be a positive part of the learning process. Therefore, summative assessment becomes formative if the information is used to inform the process of learning. So once you use that summative assessment to inform the process of learning, then it becomes formative. Don't forget about the two. Formative being ongoing and then summative at the end. So formative use of summative assessment means that we do not give class exercises, class tests, or end-of-term examinations for the sake of completing the continuous assessment. That should not be the reason. Because we do class exercise, class tests, and then end-of-term exams at the end of every semester, that become the summative. And the goal is that people think they want to use that one to complete the continuous assessment. But if that's not the goal, and the goal is that they are using those tests to improve learning, then that summative assessment now becomes formative. Okay, so again, it means that the purpose of school-based tests especially should not be for judgmental or accountability reasons only. Instead, as a teacher, we should see these tests as providing rich data as to how well we are supporting students' learning. Okay. So we are looking at how to use text formatively. So I have a few here, and then I'll allow you to read the rest from your course material. I've talked about the traffic light already. So the use of traffic light approach, as I've talked briefly about that. After a test has been conducted, the teacher can ask students to indicate using green, amber, red mathematical terms or words, questions that they did not understand or anticipate that they will not do well, or topics that the test item were based on. This can be done using past specific questions where students identify topics that items were not on. They can then traffic light the topics identified using green to represent topics that they understand very well, amber and red for topics that they feel insecure and will need to spend more time on it respectively, and a lot. So read more the traffic lights approach is in your course material. Strategies involved in the formative use of summative assessment. First, engage students in learning how to set questions and assessing them. This is simple. So for example, after treating the topic binary operations, students can be asked to think of possible questions, set those questions and answer them. So you can ask students to set questions and answer them themselves. This process can help students to understand the process of assessment. Don't forget about the what, the how, and why of assessment according to Brown, which you've learned from the previous first section. Okay, the next strategy is in teacher constructed tests. Teachers can use the results obtained by students as a data to understand what one's required revision depending on how well students perform on each item. This is because the use of a test blueprint or table of specification makes it possible for you to know what the task demand was for each item, and therefore what content or skills or procedure students perform relatively well on or poorly on for remediation to take place. So in this session, we look at summative use of formative assessment, and also we have also look at how to use tests formatively in this end session 5. So read more in your course material. They are very, very interesting.